Hello, and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here, Cirrus over there.
Hello, how's it going? I am here this time with face.
We've got Meat Cirrus.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I just noticed I'm muted. There we go. Fixed.
You weren't
Fixed
muted
and
on my
adjusted.
end.
That's yeah, but
First time for everything.
yeah, but who cares about your end? I'm
Yeah,
not into that.
not enough people care about my end. It's a
I
little
think
neglected.
I think they prefer about your front.
Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, how you doing?
I am doing okay. I had a couple of interesting conversations on stream the last couple days that are going up as videos right now. One from a VTuber who was against voting, and that was a fun
Mm-hmm.
conversation. And another one that was an AI bro that wanted to argue that AI was art.
Oh, is Melania Trump streaming right now? Because apparently we're at 4 viewers, and that's more than she's getting.
Ah! Pretty Mink says, "You're actually one of my favorite internet personalities, but coming from the Midwest where they're assaulting national reps at this point, I lean closer to the chaos perspective. Please respond, sirs." So, you gave a statement and asked me to respond. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there.
Like,
Other
here,
than,
here's a thing about me. Please respond to the thing about me. Like,
I,
you're a person.
what's the whole perspective? I showed you mine. Now show me yours. That's what it's.
You
That's
want
what
you
it
want you
gets
want
for
to see my
me.
bald spot?
Yeah,
Still haven't had my biopsy. Waiting for the call from the plastic surgeon that I don't have
um,
to pay for.
yeah. The conversation with the Abro, it was only a little agitating in the sense that we couldn't. Neither of us budged on our positions at all, which I guess is fairly normal for a standard conversation. But I kind of wished I could have got them to budge on the AI art thing because they had the opinion that AI art's the same thing as a photo, and I'm like, it's not though. There's a bunch of decisions that go into photography that do not go into prompting. When the machine generates the image, that's it. Like there are no decisions that are made at that point. If you put the same input into an AI and ask it for the same thing 15 times, generate 15 different images. I'm
If you
sorry.
ask it to make subtle changes to the last image it generated, it'll be
It'll
like,
give
"What do
you
you
a
mean
whole new
last
fucking
image?"
one. Yeah. And then to that one, he was just like, "That doesn't happen if you know what you're doing." I'm like, "Yeah, the fuck it does." Shut up. But regardless, I wasn't gonna be like, actually, no, that's not how that skill works. It was just me trying to give the pushback on, hey, there's a bunch of decisions that go into how a photograph is made that are not the decisions that go into AI. There's no creative process involved, just raw numbers, input, output. But I don't know. That video is going to go up here in a day or so, depending on uh, when K Fox decides to get that one put together. And I'm hoping it'll be a useful conversation for other people.
Here's here's my hot take. There actually is some amount of creative process that goes into the prompting. I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to pretend that it's on the same level as actual artistic creative process of making the art yourself, but like figuring out how to prompt an AI to give you at least something close to what you actually
Oh,
want
it's definitely a
is
skill.
it definitely takes some amount of skill and creativity. Um, but I would not put it in its own, this is my artistic medium kind of bucket,
Yeah.
because it's not.
A one of the sticking points that happened during that conversation was them saying, "So what is the point where it crosses the line? What is the point where an amount of AI is used, but it can be considered art versus not?" And I'm just like, you're trying to boil a very raw human emotional thing like art to something completely fucking robotic, and I think I understand the problem here. You've tried to boil down all of our very human processes into code in your brain. And I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
Like I recognize that on like a purely mechanical level, there's some merit to that. There's also a point where you've just created an army of skinwalkers instead of actual people, but you can no longer tell the difference between them and people because of how you've decided to define what creativity or art or anything else is.
Yeah.
Kind of weird shit.
Did you see the CEO of Microsoft at Davos was like, "Hey, we need to get people to adopt this AI stuff quicker, otherwise we're going to lose social permission to like burn through all this energy for nothing."
Maybe you shouldn't need it in the first fucking place, dumbass.
Yeah. That was my thought. It's like, hey, figure out the useful thing that you want to make that people are actually going to use it for before before you go like all out on before you bet the farm on it. Fennec says I survived the freeze. What do you mean survive the you say that in the past tense? Is the freeze in past tense for you? Because like
the winter storm,
it's snowstorming outside my window right now and it's like -23. Sorry, that's -23 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit off the top of my head. I will figure it out. It's getting cold. It's almost to the point where it doesn't matter. -23 C to F is it's -10 basically. So yeah, that's my weather. Spoonbill for $5 says, "Hot take: it's okay if you use AI to help you write a punishment essay for your employer if you aren't a writer."
I mean, my biggest hot take, insofar as it's even a hot take, is it's a tool and it has uses. I do not like the areas where it is trying to be used to supplant human interactivity. I don't like it being used in video games, though I recognize increasing item in video game production. I don't like it being used for artwork at all. I feel like there are certain things that are purely human things. They are aspects of our human condition that are very, very unique to sapient or sentient beings.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an emotional argument, but this is the argument that came from talking with friends of mine who are career artists. Like one of them used to work at Sega. And her response for the AI thing was, isn't it so fucking disgusting that you would try to rip away something that is so human and turn it into just numbers or data? Why are you not disgusted by that process?
I agree. Yes.
And it's like, okay, I hadn't considered that perspective. I was looking at it from like pure utility, trying to look at it from the angle of like, okay, well, how much energy is it using? What's the impact on the environment? What are its use cases? And I'm just like, no, from people who are actually employed in that field, they're just like, this part of me that is important to who and how I am, you have tried to boil down to something so unhuman. I am disgusted by the thought of that homunculus.
Yeah,
Like,
that's... I agree.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Not my perspective, because it's not my field. But I completely fucking get that perspective, and I think it's one of the most valid ones out there, because Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean...
I couldn't articulate it much better than that.
Speaking of artistic endeavors, did you know that the Lord of the Rings trilogy was back in theaters briefly?
I did not.
Yeah, I found out like the day before. They did 2 weekends. Last weekend was the regular theatrical release, and the weekend before was the extended edition. I found out like the day before the extended edition was dropping. So my partner and I spent that weekend in the theater because those are long ass movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know whose special effects really holds up?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. I mean, there was some stuff that was like I didn't notice that at the time, and I notice it now. Like it's like people that were like blue screen comped into like the tops of turrets and stuff, and they're just little guys on the thing, but like there was something about the lighting that was like this was shot in a different location than the rest of it. But aside from that, it was all pretty much flawless. I think Lord of the Rings kind of like they came out at the perfect time for Peter Jackson's style, because the like CG animation was good enough that you could do Gollum and you can do the cave trolls and you can do all this stuff, but it's not good enough that you can rely on it for basically everything you want. Like you can't just film everybody in front of a green screen and do the rest later, figure it out in post.
You couldn't do the thing that Avengers did.
Yeah,
where like so much of the movie is just actors on green screen,
or that Star Wars did, as they were doing their movies at the same time as Lord of the Rings, the prequels.
Yeah. Although I will say the prequels still hold up really well visually.
They do, but not as well as Lord of the Rings does.
Not as well. No, definitely not.
And I have seen them both recently. Like Lord of the Rings was 2 weeks ago, and I have a kid that is watching through the Star Wars, like all the Star Wars movies right now. So I'm watching them with them, and we're on the prequels at the moment. So it's fresh in my brain. The Lord of the Rings is way better, visual effects wise.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. There are some when the Star Wars prequels, as much as I love the prequels more and more the more I watch them, and as much as I like the visual effects of the prequels, there are some things that when you see that they don't hold up stupendously badly. Like in fucking Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan is tossed and knocked out by Count Dooku, the scene of him being like pinned down under the metal framework, it looks like it was rendered on a PlayStation 1. It's really, really weird. That like uncanny valley smooth animation that you used to get a lot with like CG cutscenes.
Yeah,
is what is used for that, and it's so weird.
Well, they were so much more ambitious than they should have been with those, because like that was part of it. Because like in Lord of the Rings, any of the like full person CG stuff, with the exception of the motion capture stuff with like Gollum, it was either like, I mean, even with Gollum, it was like non-human creatures where you can kind of fudge it a little bit and you still get away with it because they're not human after all. Or if they're doing a full body like human replacement, it's just like it's a little guy on the screen running across the little bridge in the middle of this big sweeping scene, so you don't notice the imperfections as much.
Yep.
Mark Fernkoff, Trump in Iowa yesterday, had 300 supporters and 3,000 protesters.
Ah!
Did you see his excuse for not going to the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he announced that he's not going to the Super Bowl because it's too far away.
He's never made that stipulation before with anything else he's done.
He doesn't care how far something away is. He flies in a friggin' mansion on wings and with Air Force One. Like, travel, like all the stress of traveling is gone when you have everybody taking care of all the stressful things for you. All you have to do is step on the fucking plane. He just doesn't want to be booed because he knows that he's gonna get booed.
Yep, and his ego can't handle it. His itty bitty wiener cannot handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Axel says, "You think it's because he's sick and dying?" No, I think it's because he's got
it's because
ego.
He's got thin skin. Yeah. Anyway, we got something a little different. We're not starting with news this time. We're starting with a Trump campaign email.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this. So, let me just. So we can't see the first headline right above it. Oh no, that's the thing. Yoink. There we go. So this is an email that, well, the screenshot was taken by Brian, but I have confirmed from multiple sources that this is an actual thing, and there are news articles about it. Okay. So it says, and this is official. It came through Trump's PAC that he collects money with. So this isn't scammers trying to trick people, although that is a big problem with right-wing stuff. So it says, I reached out last week about my citizens-only survey. Your file says you're a top MAGA patriot, but my records to my survey still say response pending. Don't tell me you're an illegal alien.
Oh my fucking God.
That cannot be true. It gets worse. It says, this is your final moment to prove me wrong, Brian. Please, are you a proud American citizen, or does ICE need to come and track you down? Take citizens-only survey.
But I guarantee you that's just some new intern. They've been fired. It's like every other time. It's always some new intern.
It's always an intern. So yeah, they're literally threatening ICE.
U.S.
And
citizens.
Here's the thing. We'll get it gets so much worse when you see how this actually works. So if you I've gone to the survey. We can take the survey. Okay, first off,
Okay.
you get a pop-up that comes in, as you so often do with websites, except unlike most websites where there's either an X in the corner or there's a cancel button, it's fear not, I am Donald J. Trump, fear not, I will always love you for supporting me, unity, peace, make America great again, complete my donation is the only available button.
Wait, why is this fear not, does he think he's biblically accurate? Be not afraid!
I mean, I actually didn't think that this was a scam until I saw this pop up and was like, fear not, I really am Donald Trump. I totally promise I'm legitimately the real guy. I'm like, okay, that's setting off my spike.
That's what a con artist sounds like.
But anyway, there is no X. If you click outside of it, it does go away. But that is a super scummy dark pattern to just have one button to donate.
You may want to define dark patterns for people.
Dark pattern is when you, like, if you're trying to cancel a service or something, instead of just cancel, okay, I'm done, it's cancel. Oh, well, you have to give us a reason why you're canceling. And before you cancel, we're going to offer you these things, and we're going to make it hard for you to find the cancel button, and we're going to make it easy for you to accidentally not cancel. And while you're not canceling, you signed up for extra crap. It's the stuff that companies do to try and trick you into buying their products or not canceling their products.
Yeah, I think it's also if memory serves, there's more to it than just that, but it's basically any UI element you can use that changes the behavior of the user in a way that is to their detriment and to your benefit.
Yeah, it's like, and a classic example is what this is kind of an example of is it's when you get like okay, so good example. I have a couple of devices that are Google Home that I haven't gotten around to transitioning over to the Home Assistant thing that I have on my. I run my own assistant locally, but there's still a couple things that I use Google for, and every time I open Google to use one of the things, I get a pop-up being like, "Hey, would you like to upgrade to Gemini on your assistant?"
No. And you need to do it. Hello, true patriot. Would you like to upgrade to America, Gemini?
Yeah, but like the options that it gives me are yes or later. There is no. I would like to not upgrade to Gemini because I don't consider that to be an upgrade. So where's the no? That is a dark pattern. You can't just like not letting me just say no to the thing. But anyway, so yeah, so this is the survey. Trump, Vance, Make America Great Again 2025. 2025 Verified Citizens Only Survey. Keep your screen hidden from prying eyes. So I'm sorry that I'm doing this on a live stream. Betraying his trust. Your responses to our first survey of 2025 are private, and okay, so this is an older survey, but I just found out about it. So they're private, and we want to make sure our official records are complete before President Trump takes office. Complete survey. Are you an American citizen or an illegal alien? So I'm just going to click that because I'm afraid that if I click that, it's going to actually kick me out. I don't think it will because they want me to give them money either way. What region of the country do you currently live in? I'm closest to the Northeast. What age range do you fall under? Sure.
I live in America land.
Are you male or female? Male, female? I'm insane. How do you lean politically? Conservative, liberal, independent, undecided. Well, I mean, socialist, leftist, communist, whatever other Marxist that they like to put on there, that's not listed, so I'm just gonna go. Sure. Did you vote for Trump in 2016? No. Did you vote Trump in 2020? No. I mean, I'm Canadian, so
what does it
not,
say yes, MAGA?
Yes, MAGA, or no? Did
yes,
you vote Trump
MAGA
in November?
Or no?
No.
What fucking indoctrination shit? Okay.
Do you agree that only United States citizens should be allowed to vote in our elections? No. Let the illegals vote.
Fuck it.
Should I conduct the largest deportation operation in history on day one of my new administration? No. No tax on tips. Do you agree? They don't pay taxes on tips anyway.
They already didn't fucking do that.
As someone who was a server, I like the ones who make a shit ton of money with tips declare like $3,000 of tip income for the whole year. And that usually keeps them under the having to pay tax bracket. At least in Canada. That's what my coworkers would do. Do you support my plan to keep biological men out of women's sports? Fuck no.
Isn't it weird, by the way? It's a thing that occurred to me because of what Trump recently did with BlackRock. You know, the executive order he did recently, making it institutions couldn't buy housing specifically for holding and resale and shit. They couldn't do it. Basically to try to supposedly fuck up the Airbnb market that's killing a lot of our houses.
Yeah.
So it reminds me a little bit of that. So I dug into that a little bit on stream and found out that the way that BlackRock and most of those institutions are actually getting their houses is by buying up residential land before other places are able to get it, and then turning that land into housing. So the executive order doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything to stop BlackRock from what it was doing, but it sounds like a good thing. And when you bring up the tip thing, because it was one of his earlier campaigns.
Eddie. I have a new hat.
I'm just kind of stuck on that now, because the tip thing, it's the same thing to me. It's let me do this broad sweeping thing that sounds so good and it's so hard to argue against as being bad.
New hat.
Anyway. But like, it sounds so hard to argue against it being bad when it doesn't do anything. The BlackRock thing didn't do anything, but it sounds good. The tipping thing doesn't do anything. Good.
Yeah. Is it that or a lampshade? So it was a lampshade. My partner has gotten into making sun catchers out of glass beads, and this is one that she has made. And the only place that we had to hang it that wasn't going to have it like bumping up against a wall was on a hook up there in the office. So she might not appreciate me doing this, but I'm doing it.
You might not appreciate it, but according to Donald Trump, you're a true American patriot and a hero.
I mean, I'm not sure how long I can keep this on because it's dangling right in front of me, so it's a bit distracting. Yeah. What should my top priority on my first day back in office be? I said 8647.
What if we went the same way?
Yeah,
because I just said die.
Now these are donation tickers. $5 just donated by Piedad A. 50 cents donated by Tanya S. I have a suspicion about these, so I'm going to right click and go to inspect. Inspecting element. Span class donation. Ooh, results. Here. There we go. Span class donation. So yeah, span class amount value $5 just donated by Piedad A. So yeah, these are not actually just donation, like these are not fresh donations. These are hard coded in. And there's not even that many of them. So anyone who stays here for like that's scrolling pretty quick.
It's the usual thing you get from a scam website.
Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
So this was actually made by people who make scam websites then, because
basically
that's a thing that scam websites always do, where they'll be like, get yours now, limited time only. One has been claimed, two have been claimed.
Or you have 36 minutes until this offer ends.
Yeah.
And then after the 36 minute, the timer just starts over. But yeah, no, if you, in order to submit the survey, you have to donate. There is no don't donate option.
The only people whose opinion matters are the people who can give him the money.
So remember, this started with him saying, if you don't do this survey, I am sending ICE after you.
Yep.
and it ends with, in order to submit the survey, you have to donate. This is just straight up extortion. Like, that's there's no gray area here. That is, give me money or else I will send thugs to your door to arrest you.
Why do we live in this timeline? Like, this is the kind of thing that I imagine right-wingers making up about Democrat scandals. But it's just a thing that happened on a day that ends in Y.
Sorry, I couldn't do that for very long. But yeah, no, and I feel like this should be illegal. And like this was before he took office. So I mean, as if fucking Merrick Garland had any amount of speed or urgency to his bullshit, but I don't know. I feel like extorting donations out of people
is scummy behavior.
Not just scummy, but like he should be in prison.
I can agree with that. I can agree
and I mean,
with prison being
this is on
place
top of
he
all
should
the other
be.
reasons we know he should be in prison.
I think this is one of the many reasons that he should be. Its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's that story. Moving on to the Ecuador. Says ICE agent attempted to enter its Minneapolis consulate.
Yeah, I saw this.
You
I
saw the
haven't
video?
covered it yet, but I haven't seen the video. I just saw that this was a thing that happened and put the mental note of, okay, I need to talk about this. But I hadn't had a chance to yet. So I'm glad we're talking about it now.
So Lord of Uzkalak says, can you enter $0 as a donation? I don't know, but in order to find out, I would have to actually put in a credit card number. And I don't feel like doing that.
You don't feel like giving your credit card to a fraud?
No. Although, I do use a service that it can do credit card and email masking. So I could have it generate a fake credit card that would actually count as valid. And it could actually charge my credit card, but if I see the charge coming through with the indications that it was the mask, then I know that, like, hey, that's actually a fraudulent charge. I did not authorize that. But that's a lot of effort just for
a bit.
Just for a bit, yeah. But yeah, the government of Ecuador has condemned what it described as an attempt by U.S. federal immigration agent to enter the Ecuadorian consulate in Minneapolis. Now, this is a big deal because the president of Ecuador is like a huge Trump ally, and they've now filed an official complaint. And so, according to the Vienna Convention, the authorities of the country where the consulate is located shall not enter the parts of the consulate used for work except with the consent of the head of the consular post, which they have explicitly stated that, no, we did not give consent. And if you watch the video, he very clearly just, like, no, you can't come in here. It was very obvious he did not have consent.
You know, it's funny, when that shit happens to an American embassy on foreign soil, we consider it a form of invasion.
Mm-hmm.
But when it happens to when it happens on our soil, we would get fucking pissed if they considered it an invasion.
Yeah. Like, Trump would be so incensed that they would expect there to be consequences for stuff like this. But, yeah, so the way they're probably going to spin this is that there is a provision in the Vienna Convention where if there's like an imminent threat, they can enter. But it's supposed to be for stuff like the building is burning down and the firemen need to go put the fire out. As opposed to, I think there's an immigrant there, so I'm going to bust in to grab any brown people that I see. Because we know that's how ICE operates.
We think you're harboring a brown person in the floorboards of your car, so we're gonna fucking shoot you.
Yeah, so the Ecuadorian official, when the ICE agent was trying to come in, said, "This is the consulate, you're not allowed in here." The agent tells the official that if you touch me, I will grab you. To which he repeated, "You cannot enter here. This is a consulate. This is a foreign government's office," and then shut the door on him. So very clearly did not have consent.
My daddy gave me permission. You will let me in. Shut up, fucking.
Yeah.
Give a shit that Palpatine told you can come in here. That's not really. That's neither here nor there. Fuck off.
Oh, you will know the power of the dark. I'm just excited
that you will
that
not learn it from a Jedi. Oh, okay. Can I learn it from you?
I'm just excited that my kids will finally get the joke about how did Darth Vader know what you got him for Christmas because he felt your presence. I'm just glad that they'll finally get that. I mean, my older kids know that one; they've gotten it for ages, but the younger ones are learning.
Feel a presence I've not felt for. Walks off screen.
Are consulates considered sovereign territory or of that country, or is that only for embassies? I believe that is only for embassies, but consulates they do have similar, like, you can't send your cops here. So like, if it's supposed to be a safe spot for people of that country, essentially.
And yet, dumbass in chief has just decided, nah, fuck it. You know what's also weird? The weird PR shit he's been doing after ICE has been doing all of its fuck-ups. But I imagine you have a thing for us to talk about in regards to that.
Are we talking about Bovino?
That's one of the things, yeah.
Because that's the next story is Bovino.
Oh, sweet.
He's losing his job. And I thought,
I guess we're here now.
This one is it's important that we look at the picture, because I know this isn't the picture. Sad. I know this isn't the picture that was taken when he got the news that he lost his job, but he constantly looks like a person who just got the news that they lost their job. Like that's just what he looks like.
A thing that I covered that was weird in regards to this whole thing. There's a fake news page called the News Anchor Hub, I believe, on Facebook.
Okay.
And when it talks about Bovino, it talks about the emotional weight that you have to carry to do your duty, even though the country will hate you for it. And then when it posts things about Alex Preddy, it's fake articles about him being somebody in drag. 3 different ones with 3 different people in drag. They can't all be true, but they're all being posted by the same news website.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, he's not really losing his job. He got demoted and moved to California.
Yeah, but he's like, along with the demotion came, like, they revoked his access to all his social media accounts, and by all appearances, he absolutely loved being in front of the camera and fighting with people on social media. So, and like there is people, like, I don't want to rain on the parade too much, because this is evidence that the protesting in Minneapolis is working. Like, Trump is or Trump or whoever is actually in charge up there, Stephen Miller, is seeing that everybody fucking hates what they're doing. They're seeing that, like, polling has shown that abolishing ICE is at an all-time high in approval, and so they're seeing that they need to change their tactics. So they get rid of Greg Bovino. I don't think they're actually going to meaningfully change anything, because, like, they replaced him with, what was his name, Tom Homan?
Yeah, they replaced him with Homan.
Yeah, they replaced him with Homan. And Homan is, he's also a piece of shit. I don't expect that things are going to change, but they're trying to at least have the appearance of change, so that they can then say, see, look, we were conciliatory. Even though we didn't actually change anything, we fired the guy who was the figurehead. So it is evidence that the protesting is working, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah. Also, this does come on the heels of Tim Walz having a meeting with Trump, and we all know that
they
Trump
were on the same page.
According to Trump, but we all know that Trump just, like, anytime anyone shows any amount of strength, he just, like, backs down immediately. But also, it's also really easy to manipulate him. So, like, all you have to do is, like, pay him the most obvious empty flattery of compliments.
Like
And
Mamdani did.
then, yeah, exactly like Mondani did. We saw it happen in real time. And he'll just like bend over backwards to try and make you happy because you made him happy. So Tim Walz is smart enough that he knows that. So he probably got some concessions out of Trump. But I don't know that I would call it same page. I don't think that Walz is going far enough in his speech. I feel like he should be at the front calling for the abolition of ICE. Like we see people like Mamdani doing really well. Kat Abugazele is sorry, I know I tripped over her last name, but
I have never been good at her last name.
Yeah.
It's just a reality of saying words.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can say it. I just tripped over it that time. Abugazeli? Bugazali? No. I'm just gonna stop before I dig my hole even further. But she seems to be like last polling I saw, she was like tied for first, and she's got 0 large donors. It's all grassroots shit. So I hope that the success of like Mamdani and her and Ilhan Omar. Did you see the fucking video with Ilhan Omar?
I did, but also I'm just going to go ahead and do a thing right now. Hi, Social Migraine. Welcome to the stream. It's been several videos where the only thing you've ever contributed to this community, to this stream, is being exactly what your name states. Instead of letting you derail things any longer, I'm going to give you all of the attention right now that your parents never gave you, since obviously by your behavior, I can tell that they have failed you and you have become the end result of those actions. So, I'm just going to go ahead and do myself and everybody else a favor and get you out of here. Because the only thing that you said, tampon Tim Walz, I don't give a shit about you insulting Tim Walz. I give a shit about how much you actually contribute to being part of a community. You don't.
Imagine being the kind of person that thinks that providing tampons for people who need tampons is a bad thing. Like you think that's an insult? Why?
Later, loser.
That's so fucking dumb.
Like, I'm sorry that your mom didn't gargle and or abort you, but here we are. We are paying for her mistakes.
As did she. Let's look at Bovina's. Oh, he's.
Jesus.
I just, the tampon Tim thing, I never understood how that was supposed to be an insult. Like, oh, this guy's providing tampons to people who need them.
It's because it's women. We can't take anything that has to do with women seriously. That's what it is.
No, it's because it was trans men.
They don't see a difference there. They don't.
It's like, hot take, I don't care who needs the tampon. They should have access to the tampon. Doesn't matter who they are.
So
thanks for the hydrate, Jassa.
I've been doing an experiment, and the end result of that experiment fucked up one of my videos, and I had to re-record it. But I have a secondary account that's just auto playing right wing shit. So it's just playing Matt Walsh, Sargon of Akkad, Ben Shapiro, Sidney Watson. And after a couple weeks of it just being fed on that algorithm, I'm going to use it to find stuff that I want to respond to, because it's going to be the things the algorithm is feeding people who are used to watching that content. But I forgot to mute the Sargon of Akkad video while I was recording one of mine. So there was a whole 4-minute section where you could just hear Sargon in the background while I'm talking, and I couldn't hear it because I had my headphones muted. Because I'm just like, no, I don't want to listen to the shit he's saying right now. I'm trying to populate a bot.
Good Lord. Yeah. So I think that all I pulled for news? Yes, that is. There was another story that I decided not to cover because I just feel like it. I do think I think it's important that we talk about Alex Preddy a little bit.
I think so too. Are we moving to a new?
No, it's at the end of this one. They talk about Alex Preddy and how the hours after the shooting, Bovino appeared at a press conference and echoed statements by the Department of Homeland Security alleging Preddy sought to massacre the federal agents. He repeatedly claimed that Border Patrol agents, not Preddy, were the victims. But videos of the encounter show no evidence for his claims. Preddy, who is licensed to carry a concealed weapon, did not draw a firearm or attack the agents. The video shows one agent disarming Preddy in the moments just before another agent shot him in the back like a fucking coward. And this was like the absolute worst person they could have done this for. Immediately, as soon as something like this happens, always go.
Everybody realized he was a fucking VA nurse.
Yeah. Well, they always dig for dirt, and they try and push. Yep. So like Renee Good again, they didn't really find much dirt on her, but they're like, she's a lesbian. Which
who the fuck cares?
Yeah, who the fuck cares? But
you watch porn of that all the time. Shut the fuck up.
So Content 83 for the hat. World's okay as bisexual. I feel like that's a little bit relevant at the moment. Yeah, so they always go dirt digging, and in this case, what they found is that he's a VA who everybody loved. Who, when people were when patients were sexually harassing nurses or female doctors, he would step in and call them out on it and stop them from it. He was a valued member of the community. Everybody loved him. He was like, by all accounts, he was like the best person ever. His last words were like, he got involved because they pepper sprayed a lady in the face at point blank range for no reason, and he tried to help her as a nurse.
His last words were, "Are
and
you
his
okay?"
last words were to her. He asked, "Are you okay?" His last thought was about somebody else's well-being. He's a fucking saint, and they just murdered him in cold blood. And then they learned from the Catholic Church. They moved the agent around to a different precinct that we can't figure out who it is. Which to me says they know who it is, so we can press charges. And there's no statute of limitations on murder, so I feel like whoever's running for president next time needs to run on a platform of, we are going to get justice for Alex Preddy. I mean,
think that would be
ideally, he needs to run on a bigger campaign than that. Every ICE agent who did a crime that we have evidence of, we're going to prosecute them, and we're going to abolish ICE. That's what I'd love to see. But at the minimum, we are going to get justice for Alex Preddy.
Never forget, not only did ICE not used to operate this way back when it was, but on top of that,
it was formed in the Bush administration. We don't need it.
On top of that, though, we had customs enforcement had tools for that prior to ICE.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of ICE doesn't mean we lose access to that. It's like if we started demilitarizing police, right? You wouldn't suddenly not have the police. You still get them.
They just don't have military weapons.
Rito Dave says, but Rhino, have you considered Second Amendment bad when it's against our tyrannical government? Don't step on Sneck! But I get a stiffy when
fucking Sneck has the boot all the way down his throat.
Yeah, every fucking don't step on Snecker, I'm sorry, but
you've lost all credibility. Credibility.
Every one of you has an extra chair in your bedroom, and you know why you have it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, don't king shame cucks. Don't insult cucks by comparing them to the Second Amendment don't step on Sneck people.
You're right. Cucks have a lot more confidence than they do.
Absolutely. Fuck is following. Thank you, fuck. I just now have a notification on my sidebar that says "fuck" followed you. Fuck. Well, the easiest way it reads is "fuck you," because the "u" is right underneath it, and they're both bold.
Yeah.
But there's a followed there that I'm supposed to read in between them. So fuck you. I expect lots of engagement from you because your name is fun to say, and not like I'm not going to say it anyway. But
please give us the opportunity to say it more.
Yes. Give me reason to say fuck the hat. I
get to pretend that I'm actually a very, very well-spoken person when all I'm doing is just finding ways to put expletives in my statements. And you give me an opportunity to use those expletives more often, and it be totally justified, and I don't get looked at weird on a bus for doing it.
Fuck says, I'll try to be social and funny too.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, fuck. Okay, that's all I pulled for news, so we're going on to the tweets. I think we might be getting back to finishing at 10. This keeps happening. Oh fuck, I forgot to. Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fuck. I forgot to make the thing visible. Will you forgive me, fuck?
Right.
You have to watch every
Christ.
stream now because you are the person I'm talking to every time I say it.
You've got an engagement for life, maybe.
There we go.
Engagement for life, but never a ceremony.
I forgive you, fuck. So Bridget Gabriel says, the outrage over ICE is coming from a few talking heads on social media and mainstream journalists. The vast majority of Americans stand with our law enforcement officers and want to see every single illegal deported.
First question I have, so you're saying that the people who have platforms that reach thousands upon millions of people are able to control the narratives a little bit? Wow, I didn't know that the sky also frequently was blue. That's strange, Bridget. Did you know that the media is the media? I was so fucking unaware about that. Also, let's look at Pew Research and see if you're correct, because I don't think you are.
I didn't have Pew Research, but I did go to Gallup.
Gallup poll works too. I'll take Gallup.
No, sorry, YouGov. Is YouGov Gallup? I thought they were run by Gallup. I don't know. But so this is question 47, support for abolishing ICE. Would you support or oppose abolishing ICE? 46% of respondents support abolishing ICE. So
almost half the country.
Yeah, only 43% oppose abolishing ICE. The rest are not sure.
Oh, okay. So actually a majority.
More people want to get rid of it than want to keep it. But somehow, the vast majority of Americans stand with our law enforcement officers.
Yeah, it's not the vast majority. That's not how numbers work.
That's not even a slim majority. That's not even a majority.
Not how numbers work, dumbass.
So, yeah. Fuck ICE. Abolish them. I did have a moment.
Right now, fuck ICE. I don't want them. They get children. I worry about them getting beat.
No. You fuck them up the ass with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire.
Oh, I see. You give them the Negan surprise.
You could hammer a few nails through it too if you want.
Chief Burbs, thank you for the raid. How you doing?
Good timing.
Good timing, absolutely.
To be fair, when I jumped on your stream to see if you were streaming, the first thing that I heard was you saying, I like tits.
I mean, that was when Saki was in, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah,
they were in your face, and you were like, I like tits.
Yeah, there's a true statement. It is a very true statement.
Panic sent me a link.
Sends good links, though.
And it does send good links, but it's not in the chat where I can click on it. It's on the not clicky chat that when I click on it, it does this.
Oh, I see. When it's not...
I sent it to you on Discord today. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know Shut your fucking mouth.
I thank you.
I sent it on Discord.
I thank you for that, but I also thank you more for this moment where I got to get this part right. This was good.
Okay. This is just for me, but when I went to type in Twitch so I could get to my streams so that I could find the fucking link in the fucking chat, I discovered that I had caps lock on, so as I was yelling at you, I was also typing in all caps, twitch.tv! And I thought that was a little amusing. Okay, where the fuck is my own channel? Channel. I'm gonna be echoey for a second because Twitch always autoplays. Mute. And mute. Yeah, the mute happened before it loaded. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got, well, we can go back to that. On Reddit, sometimes it's hard to create happy things. Somebody did a cross-stitch, it looks like, of, that's fine, dude, I'm not mad at you, and fucking bitch. Laddered it in red. That hits.
That's what happened.
Embroidery. Fuck off with correcting about what the fuck it is. I was having a moment, okay?
Yeah, but they're correct.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care.
And now you just had the moment I had in a video recently where I knew that someone was going to say technically correct in regards to something I said, and I just went off, and I'm like, every single one of you that quotes that has no idea that you're the butt of that fucking joke. Shut the fuck up, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Everybody says that joke as if that means that, like, you being technically correct makes you actually the word. Like, no, the point is to laugh at the people who have that opinion.
The point is to laugh at the people who are correct in the way that makes them misunderstand the actual meaning of the thing in order to get the pedantry right. All right, next up, we've got Dale Partridge. Because if women stopped working, men would have more jobs. Women would need husbands. Wives would stay home and have babies. Families would multiply. America would heal.
But that wouldn't be the case because then you would have less money flowing in the economy. Therefore, you would have less jobs as well, because that's what we've seen that happens. Also,
Yeah,
right now, there is a surplus of jobs for people. The problem is that people need
there's too many
multiple
jobs.
of them.
Yeah,
People need
yeah.
multiple of those jobs in order to survive. And also, there are tax incentives for ghost jobs to exist, and that hasn't fucking changed yet.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Like,
not
there are
wrong.
so many ways that this is incorrect. It is astounding that this man can breathe and walk at the
I
same
mean,
time.
it's very well established at this point that like one of the best things you can do for an economy is give women rights. Is one of the best
I don't
things.
know, but I'm kidding.
That's just how it works, man. As soon as they have access to family planning techniques and ability to join the workforce,
Start operating like a first world economy.
yeah, suddenly the economy just does a whole lot better.
You know, it's also
What's
funny.
the fact that somebody replied to this with a screenshot of his wife's career thing showing that she works at a school.
Yeah, it's like you know who Andrew.
No.
Okay, so he used to go by the name Big Papa Fashion. He's the guy who was recently on whatever podcast and went to on a girl on there. He gets brought on to like a billion debates because he pulls numbers because he's it who says things
No,
that are just
no,
wrong.
Fennec.
But
She works
people
at the
jump to
school
that.
that he founded, so I'm guessing that it's not a school where people learn not useful work.
But like, so the thing that he got viral for was most of the time he does the like manosphere shit where women are used goods if they've had kids or anything like that. You need to get yourself a. But his wife has had
I
kids
like
from
my used
two.
goods.
But his wife has had kids, and she was married to. So he tells a bunch of people to do a thing that he, which
Uh,
is
so
wild.
fun story. My partner broke up with her ex-husband while having sex with him. Just like
Okay,
in the middle of the act, she just looked at him and was like, "You're never gonna want kids, are you?" He said, "No." Okay, we're done.
damn,
So yeah,
damn. But the
that's
reason I brought that up is so many people who have this up. I noticed this. I was throwing my alt account into like right wing out. Within a handful of videos, like a Matt Walsh video, a Cindy, one other. Suddenly, I was getting fed the worst thing that ever happened to women was them getting right happened to women, and I'm just like, there's a couple thoughts that go through my head. For one, I like Full Metal Alchemist. I think Full Metal Alchemist is a fantastic show. I haven't read the manga. I know that the manga Brotherhood or the mangaka that made it is in a world where she didn't have a right to selfish. I wouldn't have one of my favorite stories. Just on its surface. Fuck that world. I think the world where women can work is a good world. Also, a world where they get abused.
apparently your voice is choppy. I blame the noise gate that I have on you for this, but I don't remember if I lower the threshold, you'll start sounding, start listening to you earlier, right?
I think so.
So like right now the closed threshold is -32 and the open is -26. Is he cutting out more at the beginning of when he says things or more at the end of when he says things? Now we have to wait for the chat delay.
Yeah, now we're in tech support mode.
Yeah, somebody said the same thing was happening last week, and I had a noise gate on you last week as well. So, his voice is like the waves of the ocean, fades in and out again.
That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
weird.
Only been
Is it?
hearing every fifth word for. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off the noise gate, so you guys might hear me breathing and stuff. But
But
tell
you're
me if it makes it better, because then I'll actually know if this is the thing. So, Cirrus, say words.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna say words here, and then I'm gonna say words right about over here, and I want to see if there's any difference there. Chief Burb say he's been fine for me. Yeah, but it's on
Yep.
my stream where I can control my audio.
And well, it's also fine for me. So the audio that I'm getting from you is fine. It's something in between me and the stream that's making it choppy. So yeah, that's why noise gate was my first thought. Thank you for the hat, Davies TJ. This is our stream, comrade. We must tech support together.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Da, 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 da. Vice Rhino breathing ASMR when? Basically any of my streams. I like, you know how many times I'm reviewing it to figure out like what to title it or something when I'm uploading, and I can just hear myself going while you're talking, and it drives me
Sitting there
fucking
going,
nuts. I
you're just
fucking hate
listening
it.
to yourself going, Luke.
So like you can see me sometimes like when Cirrus is talking, I will like lean over here so that you guys don't have to listen to me breathing. I fucking hate it. So I don't want to do it to you.
David TJ says so I can help with both streams. I feel like
Okay.
on my
Lulabar
stream
or
it's fine.
Lubalar says it's no longer cutting. So I'm gonna assume that it was fine after your first adjustment. My first adjustment was to turn the filter all the way off, so
The first
if the filter
first
was the problem, that would be the expected result. So
the first adjustment was fuck this thing.
yeah. Well, I thought about adjusting it little by little, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just turning it off.
You know how many times I've fixed
thought-
a problem on OBS just by saying fuck it, the fancy shit goes.
So Duramo 10 says, I thought Rhino was looking at another screen. So I've got this screen is where my tweets are. This screen over here is where my OBS is. So when I'm talking to Cirrus, this is where Cirrus's face is for me. So that's why I always look down here when I'm talking. I tried moving him up there, which I have a fancy schmancy teleprompter thing up there so that I can like make eye contact with you guys while I'm doing stuff. But I decided that what I'm doing with that is anytime I need to show an image on stream, rather than adding the image as a source every time like I've been doing, I just have a button which will show that is the background that I have on the teleprompter. And so I can just move the image up there and then show it. So yeah, I've got 3 screens going. I can't hear Rhino breathing, says Lubalar. Yeah, but I have misophonia, so I can hear me breathing. So, yeah.
Tech support stream, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day.
Yeah. So, Dean Kane reposted this.
Wait, he still exists?
He still exists. And
I thought he died.
well, I mean, I have to do it.
I forgot that he was a person.
Shut up a second, Cirrus. I have to do this.
So, I realize what happened. I heard Dean Esme.
Oh.
Dean Kane. And I was just like, Dean Esme still talks?
The fact that you got those two confused is very amusing to me.
Right-wing religious dipshit. I could also say a number at the end of that, and I would be accurate.
Yeah. So Dean Kane reposted this. So Buzz Patterson said, interesting, and showed a screenshot. This is actually an AI. He asked AI a question. He didn't show what the question was, but this is like ChatGPT's response. This isn't actual like documentation anywhere. But it says that prohibited locations for firearms Demonstrations and rallies. Minnesota law prohibits carrying firearms at public demonstrations, rallies, or similar events. This includes both open and concealed carry. So this is part of the right-wing thing that they do, where anytime someone is murdered by law enforcement and we point out that, like, hey, that was murder, they try and turn it into this, it was a bad person, therefore, like, they had some drugs on them, therefore they deserve the death penalty for a thing that, had they actually been arrested for it, would not have gotten them the death penalty.
Yeah, they move the goalpost away from shall not be infringed,
yeah,
to something else every time.
Yeah, well, so like I looked into the statute for this. The only thing that I could find was there's a riot act or something similar to that, where it's like, if there is a riot and you have a firearm at the riot, then you can be charged with $10,000. They're like, it's like a $10,000 fine and like up to 5 years in prison. So I'm just sitting there like, so first off, it wasn't a riot. Secondly, even if it was a riot, 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine is not the death penalty.
Also, you know what's funny? Just as a side thing, if you're part of a protest and the protest turns into a riot because of circumstances outside your control, the fact that you have a gun on you, you've now done nothing, but merely by being in an area, your geographical location has caused you to become a criminal? Bullshit.
Yeah, I
Bull
agree.
fucking shit.
I agree. And I feel like there are a lot of other laws that would counteract that in some ways, but I'm not. I ain't a law talking guy. I'm no legal scholar. I don't know. But what I do know is I don't fucking care. The Second Amendment people are nowhere to be seen when they're using the fact that he legally had a gun as an excuse for why he should have been murdered. So, yeah. Oh, no. Okay. News Doge said, "The peaceful and tolerant left," and posted a video of someone who spray painted "fuck ICE" on some concrete.
That is peaceful.
Yeah, very peaceful.
That is a peaceful thing.
That is
the First Amendment. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
dumbass.
I mean, it's petty vandalism,
Don't care.
but like, it's peaceful. Nobody got hurt. And like, as far as tolerance goes, ICE, I think, falls squarely within the whole, we don't need to tolerate your intolerance.
Correct.
So like, this is both peaceful and tolerant.
It is both of those things. And yet.
But my favorite response to this one was somebody posted, have you seen this clip?
I have not seen this clip.
Oh,
I've seen that the clip exists.
Yeah, no, so Mamdani went on Miss Rachel and they did the wheels on the bus together, and someone clipped them and like the babies on the bus go wah wah wah, and so now anytime a right winger complains about something, they get this gif of Miss Rachel and Mamdani going wah wah wah.
Jesus Christ.
And it's great. I love it. So, good job, Miss Rachel and Mamdani. Okay, so Kevin Sorbo says, they're mad at Trump because he's not deporting enough of them. It's all in the math. And it's got Bill Clinton deported.
Is it not in the method? Is it not in the how it's happening?
Let's examine the image first. So Bill Clinton apparently deported 12.5 million people, and there were 0 protests or riots. George Bush was 10.3 with 0 protests and riots. Obama was 5.2 with 0 protests and riots, and Trump was 1.5 with 350 protests and riots. I don't know about you, but like, it depends what they're considering a protest or a riot. Like, I guarantee you they're considering all of the No Kings protests to be protests and riots for this. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I remember when Bush went into Iraq. I went to protests when Bush went into Iraq. And that was when I was a good little Christian boy who probably agreed with Bush about pretty much everything except going into Iraq. Nachibri says bullshit. Tea Party was a lot of protests, and that was Obama's time. Yep, I remember the Tea Party. That was when I was a libertarian. I was excited that the Tea Party was finally getting some representatives in Congress. I thought that maybe that was part of a grassroots rebellion sort of thing.
Shoskasaurus. Wait, Shosk, like the paladin who was healing me a couple days ago, or last night? Shosk? But also, they said, did you research those numbers? They're probably made up. I've seen this kind of post.
I did not research the numbers. I assume they're made up. I
know times.
I know that Obama did more deportation than Trump did in his first term, sort of thing. I don't know exactly how the numbers shake out, but it's like and Obama is not a saint. I'm not going to defend the man.
The king of the drone strike is not our hero.
Yeah,
my guy.
So he got a lot of credit that I think he did not deserve, but that doesn't justify what Trump is doing. Progress only says Rodney King. Wasn't Rodney King Bush Sr.? Wasn't that like 1991-ish? Now I have to look it up.
I think Rodney King.
That was the LA. That was the LA riots, wasn't it?
I think it was Clinton, because I remembered that was an episode of Fresh Prince in the 90s as well.
1991, which was Bush Sr., if I remember correctly.
Okay, so it was right at the end of Bush Sr.'s tenure.
George Bush Sr. He was president to 93. And gotcha. So Rodney King, he was beaten. He was the victim of police brutality on March 3rd, 1991. And I think the riots happened like pretty close in proximity to when it actually happened. Like it wasn't like one of those sleeper things that delayed for a year. So yeah, that was Bush Sr. But also Rodney King, he reveled in his notoriety. So like after all this happened, there were stories about him, like he would speed and stuff, and then he'd get pulled over by police, and they would like do that thing that they're being all tough and like, oh yeah, you need to respect my authority, that sort of thing, and then he would just like hand them his license and watch as they saw his name, be like, you're free to go, sir. It's like, no cop wants to be the guy that gave Rodney King a speeding ticket. So, and I say good for him.
When you've got a corrupt organization and that's what you're dealing with, the rules start mattering a little less.
Yeah. But anyway.
I wish that wasn't the case.
I mean, I have said this on stream multiple times, but I have said that every president going back to I don't remember exactly which president I stopped at, but I'm going to say going back at least to Reagan is a war criminal. Every single one. Biden, Obama, Clinton, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. They are all war criminals. So this is one of those, like, I don't care. Fuck them. You're a piece of shit? Sure, they're a piece of shits too.
Shaw says, I lied, it's the same Shosk. I was like, that's a really specific name. It's a really specific name.
That it is. Okay, so we've got SKS Cartoon says the difference of the right and the left in a nutshell. Elon Musk retweeted this saying true. And the Charlie Kirk Memorial is someone holding a candle. The Alex Preddy Memorial is someone holding a Molotov cocktail. I would like to see where
somebody drew a picture of it, so it must be true.
Where is your example of someone throwing a Molotov cocktail in memory of Alex Preddy? I'll even give you just in Minnesota. Has anyone done Molotov cocktails? Now, I am certainly...
Kinma says they probably stole the picture. Yeah, probably.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if this was just AI generated.
I mean, it's Musk. He does kind of do that a lot.
But, I'm actually concerned. with what's going on in Minnesota, I am afraid that it's only a matter of time until someone brings a Molotov cocktail or something similar to the protest.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it would be incredibly cathartic for a moment, but that is going to give them the excuse that they need. So that is something that I am very frightened of.
It's because that's what happened during George Floyd. Because during the George Floyd protests,
By the way, I don't think we mentioned this when we talked about Renee Good, but she was shot less than a 5-minute drive away from where George Floyd was killed.
Yeah,
so
weird coincidences. But this same shit happened with George Floyd protests, where as they spread across the country, there were a handful of protests that got out of hand and turned into riots. And, to be fair, some of those protests got out of hand because the cops struck first. The cops actively fucking agitated.
Oh yeah, in the
But,
like, do you remember the one that closest to me? There was the Buffalo protest. The cop pushed an old man onto the ground.
Yep.
And he hit his head and his ear was bleeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that was one of the things that happened. It is a standard operating procedure for protests to get out of hand because agitators have come in and fucked it up. Either they have done it from the inside, because we saw during the George Floyd protests pallets of bricks were being put down in locations where protests were being scheduled. By the way, this is one of the reasons why the idea that your protest needs to be scheduled and needs to be filed with the proper authorities should just be considered a First Amendment violation. I'm sorry, but that shit was happening there because the right wing love the idea of the left trying to get violent, because then it makes them feel like they can justify being fucking heroes. Jake Lang's friend, whatever I forget the dude's name. I did a video on him recently, and I don't remember his name because he's the dude who was holding the American flag and yelling, saying, "I am here, boots on the ground, in my bunker." My God, you don't know what the fuck one of those two words means. You cannot be both of those, you little piss baby. But...
So, Anslin says, no Molotov cocktails for me, but I have a suggestion for what each ICE member can do with a cactus.
The Superman movie also has a suggestion for that, too.
I haven't seen it yet.
You need to. But...
so I've been told.
But let me see here. I think Dark says that's how they organized their protest. When I worked at a university, Nazis tried to organize a day to stone Jews and set out a bunch of bags of rocks for the event because they thought people would all just do it. Ugh.
Renee Good, a 37-year-old.
Oh, that's Jose.
That's Jose. Have you seen that video?
I have.
Okay, because I was just gonna mention that. You're making
I love
me think
Jose's content.
So you were making me think of it, and I was going to refer to the guy with the Blue Jay logo, and I didn't know if you knew his name, so I was like, I should probably find that out before I start talking. He just released a video on Nick Shirley.
Jaden Scott, that's who it was. Jaden Scott was the dude who was LARPing. He apparently started doxing people and started showing up to their fucking houses if he found out that they were near protest areas recently. The right loves fucking agitating. It's stupid as shit.
Yeah, and then they will complain that, they doxed the poor agent who is the victim of having to have shot someone.
Yeah, it's...
But have you seen the Nick Shirley video on Jose's channel?
I think I saw the first 25, because it's an hour long, right? It's the hour long video?
Yeah. So
yeah, I've seen the first half hour of it.
So if you're not familiar, Nick Shirley is the guy who went to all these daycare centers in Minnesota with a camera crew and then was like, why won't they let me in the daycare center? And then was like, oh, it must be fraud because they won't let me into their daycare center where
it has to be
children.
Fraud because I harassed a bunch of people and threw papers in their face.
Yeah, and he also went after hours and was like, why isn't anyone here? Because they're fucking closed. That's why. And the ones that he went to that wasn't after hours, they didn't let him in because he's some guy that showed up with a camera crew asking to film the children.
Yeah,
obviously not.
You don't the irresponsible thing would have been letting you in because No.
Yeah, so in this video, he goes
No.
over a bunch of like podcast appearances that Nick Shirley has done. The guy just knows nothing about. He knows jack about shit. It's so pathetic. But people have latched onto him because he went to these daycare centers and exposed them for the frauds that they are.
He's exposing the truth. That makes him cool. No. Stop. You don't know what an investigation looks like, but you think when somebody is doing something that looks kind of sort of like what your idea
that was
of
the whole
an
point of the video,
investigation
is that he's got the aesthetic of an investigation without doing any of the actual investigative work.
Correct.
Like he didn't even know, like people would ask him very basic softball questions that anyone who actually did any amount of investigation into the thing that he's supposedly investigating would know the answer to. And it's stuff like in follow-up videos, he went like to a health complex and he was like, oh, all these places, their signs say that they do the same thing. Why are all these businesses that do the same thing sharing office space? But then Jose was like, yeah, no, I Googled those things. They actually do different things. So they share office space because that's very common in medical things. You don't, like, medical buildings exist where everybody that's in there is a medical thing. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it works.
Olga says so. Right-wing journalistic cosplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the thing that Tim Pool used to do a lot of that got him his first bit of fame. Was doing the whole I'm going boots on the ground. I'm gonna go into the dangerous areas, and then like it makes them look like they're doing legitimate work.
Yeah. I don't know that this is going to. So I'm going to make a prediction. I would not be surprised if my prediction fails and it ages like milk or whatever, but I do not predict that Nick Shirley is actually going to last in the right-wing pseudo-newsosphere. I feel like he doesn't have the charisma, and I'm saying that knowing that Tim Pool is someone who made it big in the right-wing newsosphere.
And he's kind of a charisma vacuum.
Yeah. So like he's got less charisma than Tim Pool. So I feel like he's not going to make it, but I would not be surprised if I am wrong in that prediction.
We will see. We will see.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the thing that scares me most with this shit is the fact that because I got into this when I did my like Facebook misinformation video recently. It scares me that I live in a country where I breathe the same air as people who cannot do even the smallest modicum of research at all before coming up with their opinions. For instance, when I did the video, it was on the Alex Preddy misinformation shit that was going around about him being fired for sexually harassing people at his hospital, something that didn't happen, that we actually like.
We know he did the opposite of that.
We know he did the opposite of that. Especially when the articles that talked about it said things like Alex Preddy, 42, declined to comment.
Okay, so it's written by AI then.
So the 37-year-old who's now 42 declined to comment as a corpse? Shocking.
Yeah, it's.
I wasn't aware that you had gained the resurrection spell.
It is.
But
yeah,
like
it's bullshit.
But people in the comment section couldn't even click the article to read it to figure out if it was bunk. The smallest amount of effort couldn't have gone into it.
This was a written article? Because
this was a written article.
Hot take, I'm going to say people in the comments didn't read the whole article.
No, they never do.
Like, I had a guy, if you don't know, I have a shorts channel, Vice Rhino Shorts. And I've started posting there again because if I post shorts to the main channel, it tanks the analytics of my regular videos, but it's hard to exist on YouTube without doing shorts nowadays. So I'm trying to upkeep that. And I did one where I went through Deuteronomy 28, which is all the curses that God will lay upon you for disobedience. And it's a whole bunch of bullshit like, oh, you'll be sick, you'll be inflicted with pestilence, people will invade you, and like armies will invade you and conquer you. You'll like so many bad things, and eventually it gets to like, oh yeah, and also God is going to make someone rape your wife as punishment for your disobedience.
I told you they were cucks.
Yeah, but someone in the comments was like, "Oh no, it's like these are just like it's just natural consequence things." So like you know, if you eat something that's infected with like parasites and stuff, you're gonna get sick. That's what happens. You get so sick that these things happen. So it's really just trying to keep you safe by like if you obey the dietary laws and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What food could I eat that will cause my wife to get raped? And then the person was like, "Oh well, what verse are you saying is dealing with rape? Because rape." And then he gives the apologetic for like how rape isn't actually
verse.
a thing. It's like, I said it in the video. Did you not watch the less than 60-second video? Like it's less than a minute. It doesn't take a lot of your time to actually watch the thing and not sound like an idiot because. You know, you think that I'm talking about the rape laws that are elsewhere in the Bible, which are also heinous and immoral, but like he's using the wrong apologetic against the one I'm talking about now.
Yeah, it's...
Anyway, Conton 83 redeemed a hydrate. I should probably do that.
Fuck says it annoys me so much when news slander the news slanders or libels a person as if it justifies a killing, and they did it to Renee Good. They're doing it to Alex Preddy. Like it's.
Yeah, and the fucking...
it is a frustrating thing to deal with when there's no reason to do it. Do you know how much easier
news is so infuriating?
Do you know how much
like...
easier and smoother it is to exist through life if you don't tell a bunch of fucking lies?
Oh, so
do you know how much easier it is to not have to keep track of 1 billion stories you tell people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much easier it is to operate that way? Why would you not want that?
That's why I don't lie. It's so much harder to remember what. But no, like the fucking news, Jesus. Like even the left wing news, like CNN and shit, is treating this like, you know, like oh, DHS is completely lying about what happened. And we have video evidence saying that they're lying about what happened. But we're going to treat both sides as being equally credible here. And it's like, no, you don't have to. You can just be like, hey, this person's clearly lying. Anyway, on to the next news item.
Sarah Chikorita points out that CNN hasn't been left-wing for years. Correct, but...
It left compared to the other media.
Yeah, in regards to the Overton window of the media landscape, CNN was directly stated as Murdoch's reason for founding Fox News. He wanted a competitor for CNN.
Yeah.
The billionaire who founded Fox News saw CNN as left enough to need a right-wing competitor. I understand it is not ostensibly left-wing, as in it's neoliberal, which is a centrist-y position on the economic scale. I get that, but for the Overton window of America, it is. Ravenluck says, "Oh hey, I know you. Hi, how's it going? Where do you know me from? I'm scared now.
I don't know him.
Are you in my walls? Thank you for the follow. But like seriously, are you in my walls?
I can see your bald spot now."
Said I'm friends with Nyara. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, that's okay.
But they're also in your walls.
You might also be in my walls, but Nyara's probably in a dog bed.
Okay, I'm not going to investigate that. Next tweet. Nate Silver. We got one from Nate Silver. Nate motherfucking Silver. He tweeted out the screenshot of the headline, "Live updates, Trump drops tariff threat over Greenland after assailing Europe." And he says, shockingly, the blue sky predictions that we'd be going to war with Europe were incorrect so far anyway.
So far anyway?
Well, he's being tongue-in-cheek. He is dismissing our concerns about Trump's rhetoric. Like when he was saying, hey, we're going to invade Greenland, which caused actual troops to be moved to Greenland as a show of defense. He was like, it's just blue sky overreacting. Like, blue sky overreacting is what caused France and I think Germany to send troops to Greenland. Clearly that you like never would have like this is on the same level of being like Cuban Missile Crisis. Why are you calling it a crisis? They didn't launch a single missile.
Cuban Missile Crisis. More like Cuban Missile Hoax. Am I right, fellow Chads?
Yeah, like fuck
Some
you, Nate
stupid
Silver.
shit like that. Ninjas, thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate it.
Fennec says, "What about the bald spot?" Yes, Cirrus has a bald spot on him. He's got more testosterone than me, so he's got less hair. That's how it works. So when you see somebody saying like, "Oh, I'm high T," if they've got all the hair, they're not. They're lying, because testosterone makes you go bald. That's why it's called male pattern baldness.
Isn't
so
it
like,
not the?
I am a low T beta cuck. Look at all this.
It's not the. If memory serves, just to be pedantic for a second, I think it's not the. It's not the presence of the testosterone specifically. It's the part that receives it in the body. Kind of like how when somebody's got, when somebody has depression, it can either be the emitter or the receiver that causes the problem, because the end result is the dopamine's not being gotten.
So Fennec says, "What if you are bald but also have copious chest hair?" My partner, not me. I do not need copious chest hair. I don't know about that, but what I do know is that my chest is weirdly bare. Like I have all the hair up here, none of the hair down here. I don't know how that worked, but it is weird because like you can't see it on camera. But as I've been getting older, I've been getting like individual, really dark and long hairs, just like in random spots on my chest. It is fucking weird.
It's also annoying.
Bodies are fucking weird. I don't know how they fucking work, but they're weird. Also, like, what the fuck is this thing? Come on. Really?
What is the random bald spot?
The random bald spot in my beard. Like, I don't want to shave. But like right now it's not too bad, but when I trim my beard, it just looks ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me want to shave.
So you've got a beard comb over right now.
Yes. I have thought those exact words, yes. You are not the first person to say those words to me. I was. Yeah, no, it's so yeah, no, that's proof that I actually do have high T. I'm losing my hair. But yeah, no, I mean, if it is the thing that I suspect that it is, which the biopsy will figure out, then it should come back in like 6 months or so. But like, it's so ridiculous when I trim it that I'm like, I almost want to shave, but then I know that this is gonna show up. I don't look good shaved. High T in that particular area of chin. Yes. This is my manly spot.
It's chin testosterone. This is how the Crimson Chin was made. This is his origin story.
Mm-hmm. If my partner's beard started falling out, I think his soul would leave his body. Yeah, so that's the thing. My partner prefers me with the beard, but when she notices this, she's like, "Nope, shave it now, make it go away," because it's embarrassing. But I'm still holding out hope that after 6 months it'll just start growing back again. But like it's so smooth, guys. Like it's
scary smooth.
It's so smooth. Baby bottom smooth right there. She actually calls it my beard butt. What do they think it is? Alopecia, which is an autoimmune thing that just attacks, like your own immune system just attacks your hair follicles for no apparent reason, but it usually goes away after 6 months or so. But I want to know that that's what it is, because if it is alopecia, then alopecia also comes with an increased risk of like diabetes and Alzheimer's and dementia and all these things that I'm already at an increased risk for. So it's one of those like, maybe I need to change my lifestyle to make my later life better sort of things.
Yeah. Get into home cooking.
I am into home cooking. I love cooking at home. The problem is I have 5 children that have, like, I'm pretty sure at least 2 of them have ARFID, and there's another that's a vegetarian. So home cooking becomes either I do entire meals for like 7 different people, or it's just chicken fingers for you and tofu for you.
And the latter one is the one you end up having to take for less stress in general.
Yeah. But I do enjoy cooking. It's just that I don't enjoy cooking and then having all the kids be like, well, two of the kids be like, oh, it smells so gross. I need to get, like, I can't eat my chicken fingers in the same room as you because that smells so disgusting. Ah, it's gross. Like, they can't just not like it. They have to make it known, and everybody has to know that they don't like it the entire time that it is present.
So what you're saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
But the guy who made a career out of performing has children in the house that are doing a performance, and it is annoying.
So my career is not actually all that performative. I'm not good at performing.
But
I am just me. I'm just me.
Right, but when you turn on the camera, the word we use for that is a performance. You are performing for the camera.
Me.
Right. I'm not saying performance in the sense that you're faking it.
My verbal, not tics. Fuck, I can't think of the word.
Your verbal fuck.
My verbal fuck. Fuck. Are you still in the chat? Fuck. My verbal fuck is slightly different when I'm scripted and I'm reading off of a script. My cadence and everything is a little bit different. Yeah, fuck's still in the chat. Fuck you. So like my verbal idiom, sure, we'll go with idiom. My verbal idiom is slightly different when I'm in front of the camera, but it's still me. It's just me. I just am me. I don't act. Right.
But the word performance doesn't just mean act.
Somebody did a hat, so I should probably do the hat. Gary!
It's a good way to distract.
Gary. Get Unicorn Gary, available now at merch.vicerhino.com. I think the hat's still available. Don't buy the hat. It's overpriced.
.com.
I actually looked to see if .com was an actual top-level domain. Unfortunately, it is not.
PJ Blazer says cadence. Is that what you're thinking of?
Idiolect, not idiom. Those are different. So when I said idiom, I was actually thinking of Monty Python because I was having such a hard time thinking of it. I've just got John Cleese going like, I will rescue him. Or, no, well, it's her, but he thought it was a her, but it was a him. He was like, I will rescue her in my own particular. And then he like trails off and his servant is like, idiom, sir? Idiom, yes! So that's what I was thinking when I said idiom. I know it's not quite the correct word, but I was making a Monty Python reference.
Were you, or did like autism just put your brain in a jar for a second?
It can be both. I don't see why it wouldn't be both. Anyway, moving on from Nate Silver, Sean Davis is retweeting Jay Inslee, who said, in the midst of ICE horror, the Senate needs to prohibit Trump from using ICE as a voter suppression tool. Senate Dems need to put into the appropriations bill, I don't know how I would say, appropriations bill, a prohibition on ICE agents being near polling places. This is a must-have. Last chance to do this. Sean Davis says, wait, why would illegal immigrants be hanging out around polling places? Finish your thought. We all want to hear it. He didn't say anything about illegal immigrants hanging around around polling places. He said ICE agents would be hanging around polling places.
Yeah, ICE agents that would be used for intimidation.
Yeah, because we know from experience, they don't care whether you're an illegal immigrant or whether you're a citizen. They just care about your skin color. If you're brown, they're detaining you.
If he's brown, take him down.
Mm-hmm. Could I use hats off to suggest no hat, especially when the octo comes up? I mean, you can. It's 50-50 whether or not I'll actually notice that you said that. It's like, you know how many times people will like do a hat and then be like, I want this hat. And I've already gotten a different hat by the time I notice that they've said that. And my autistic ass is like, nope, the hat's on my head now. Can't go back. So you can try if you want. But yeah, no, this is a legit fear that ICE agents are going to be trying to intimidate voters by being at polling locations. And because they apparently have the authority to just pull anyone off the street with the wrong skin color and make them disappear, I'm not going, like, I want to say go out and vote anyways, but I'm not my skin color is such that it would be safe for me to do that.
You're also in a country where it's safe for you to do that.
Yeah. So like I don't know how you would make that calculation where it's like it is important for me to get out and vote so that this cannot continue, but this is happening right now. So what the fuck do I do?
So I can tell you what you do, because this is the advice that's being echoed from Democratic agencies over here. The advice that's being given from the Democratic Party here is to use the buddy system, is to not go vote alone, to go vote in a group. And yeah, it's asinine as shit that you should feel like you have to do that. You should just be able to go exercise your First Amendment like any other person. But if safety is your concern, and there are valid reasons for it to be your concern, you go out and vote anyway, but you do it by using the buddy system.
Yep.
It is a lot harder to be snatched off of anywhere if there are multiple people keeping track of who you are, where you are, why you're there. All with cameras, by the way.
Yeah. Have your cell phones out before you go in.
You can't do that.
No?
No, you cannot do that. You cannot have a recording device out when you go into a polling location.
Yeah, but like, would the ICE agents be in the polling location? Or would they just be standing outside of it?
When you go in was the operative word.
Okay, you're just being pedantic.
No, I'm so when it's a thing where like you can legally get in trouble.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna be pedantic. I'm gonna be a little pedantic.
You guys are weird with your secrecy around voting. Like,
yes, I know.
It's not like a public record who I voted for, but like I have never been concerned that people are going to see who I voted for.
Yeah, I recognize it's a stupid thing. I wish it wasn't the case. I believe that I should be able to have my cell phone out. Because, like, so the way that I found out about this was by actually getting caught. Because that's why I'm
You're doing the social media thing, like, see, I voted.
No, what I did was there was a resolution, because when you vote in America, you don't just vote on a party or a candidate. You also vote on different bill resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when people fucking say that you shouldn't fucking vote and that doesn't affect anything, shut the fuck up, you're an idiot. Anyway, because if you actually go and vote, you see that there's actual like things that you vote on that are not just the candidates. But anyway, the reason that I bring that up is what I did is I came across a bill resolution that I was not familiar with. And I am familiar with legalese enough to know that the actual words that are being told to me in the booth may not necessarily represent what the bill does.
Usually
it may not. Yeah, it may not represent what the bill has on like page 15 as part of its pork fat. I have no idea what that is. So I was trying to look up one of those bills that I was going to be voting on because I wasn't prepared for this one, which is on me. Tried to look it up and immediately had one of the personnel come up. You can't do that, sir. We're going to have to ask you to leave if you don't turn that off right now. All right. Nope. Yep. Okay. Sure. Let's just go ahead and get this the fuck over with then.
Yeah. You should be... Okay. You should be able to look up what the fuck the bills you're voting on are if you're not familiar with them.
But because they are public knowledge before you go into the booth, they expect that you have done it beforehand. They want you to have done all of that research before, which, again, that's why I said it is kind of on me because I had not done that research beforehand. That was a me issue. But I can still be frustrated because it's
so many people don't do, like, it's...
Yeah, every person who's ever done
it's one of those, like,
for that
yes, you should know going in. But if you don't, I would rather have someone find out and be an informed voter because they pulled their cell phone out in the moment than to be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not allowed to have my cell phone out, so I guess the title of the bill sounds okay. Like,
a little more than the title is given, but I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that because like somebody was saying that Apparently, it was because of companies in olden times would be like, hey, if you want to work for us, you have to vote this way. And so that's why it became secret voting. So, like, yeah, that makes sense. But, like, I don't know. It's weird the way you guys go about things. And you guys end up with school shootings and shit, so I feel like the rest of the world has it figured out a little bit better.
Probably.
Wendell, probably the last because he starts with W. Says he gives the Kalam cosmological argument, which is premise 1: everything that begins to exist has a cause of its existence. Premise 2: the universe began to exist. Conclusion: therefore, the universe has a cause of its existence. This argument has been crushing naturalism for a really long time. Like, not the argument by itself, buddy, because, like, all the argument gets you to is the universe had a cause. Naturalism says the universe has a cause.
The thing that actually makes waves with those arguments are people like William Lane Craig trying to adapt them and break them down for people to use. It's not the argument that is convincing. It's your predisposition for what the argument concludes.
Yeah, well, it's the universe has a cause. Cosmologists agree the universe had a cause, but philosophers, Christian philosophers, will be like, oh, well, the cause has to be timeless and spaceless and immaterial, and blah, and they put all these conditions on what the cause has to be in order to narrow that cause down to their preferred God, but they don't actually justify why those conditions exist. Like, why is it that in order to create space, you have to be spaceless? Why is it that in order to create time, you have to be timeless? Why is it that in order to create material, you have to be immaterial? More to the point, if you are immaterial, do you not exist? By definition? You don't exist in time, space, and you're not material. You don't exist. That's how those words work. But also, they'll use the energy of the universe, which, like, I know you add up all the positive and negative energy, it appears to be zero. So, like, the overall energy of the universe appears to be zero. But if you ignore that and say, like, oh, yeah, it took a lot of energy to create the universe, so it would have taken something with immense power. It's like, no, we're going with opposites. You create time, you have to be timeless. You create space, you have to be spaceless. So
to create energy, you have to have no energy.
Yeah, so, like, in order to have all the... In order to create all this power...
energy.
In order to create all this power, you have to not have that power. So your God is powerless. Otherwise, the universe wouldn't exist. Like, that's the logic that you've set up with this argument.
In order to be motivated, you need to have no motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things where it's like they assume that it requires the opposite properties, but only the properties that they say. As soon as you actually, like, expand that out to other properties that God supposedly has, it suddenly they don't like it anymore.
I am generally willing... And this is just because this is my usual way of, like, going about stuff like this anyway. I am generally willing to just bite the bullet and go, okay, it was all of those things, but that thing wasn't God.
Mm-hmm.
If you can assert that it was God, I can assert that it wasn't God.
Yeah.
I can assert that it was a thing, an event, anything.
And it had a cause.
Immaterial. Cool.
What's the cause? I don't know. Not God.
Yeah. It is something else. Neat. Like, I can just do that. That's not difficult to do.
That doesn't crush naturalism. The universe still operates in accordance with the laws of physics. My favorite, though, are the people that they get to, like, oh, well, you can't get a universe from nothing. You're like, okay, so let's pull up the Stephen Hawking quote. How, like, because laws such as gravity exist, you can get the universe from nothing. And here's the math to back it up. It's in his published papers. I don't understand that shit.
No, like, I'm not even gonna pretend to.
He said because the law of gravity exists, a universe from nothing can happen. You're like, oh, well, no, the law of gravity existed. That's not nothing. You're like, okay, so we don't have the laws of physics then? No, we can't have the laws of physics. Like, okay, the law of physics that you're relying on to say we can't get something from nothing is the second law of thermodynamics. So if the laws of physics don't exist, then there's literally nothing stopping us from getting a universe from nothing. So you need the laws of physics to exist in order to say that. But if the laws of physics exist, then gravity is part of that. And the Stephen Hawking quote says that the universe can work. And he's a lot smarter than I am, so I'm going to take his word for it.
but don't trust experts. Experts bad. Read one book. Just read one book.
I'm in the middle of reading Lord of the Rings because I watched the movies and now I'm like, I want to read the books again.
Read one book.
And
just one book.
I mean, this might come as a surprise to you, but turns out J.R.R. Tolkien, pretty good author. I'm reading it. I'm like, I wish they found a way to work this into the movie because this is so good.
The guy who changed the entire idea of how we see races of fantasy beings like elves and orcs to almost predominantly be his vision of those for damn near a century after he wrote.
Pretty good author.
Wild.
Had some problematic ideas. Yes, I will not deny that. But he's still a damn good author.
Yeah, I'm past the point in my life where I feel like I have to qualify that every time I enjoy a book.
Yeah, he was writing what, 1940s?
If I'm reading so like what is it? I have the compiled works of H.P. Lovecraft. And as I was reading them, I'm just like, man, some of these stories are kind of weird. Some of these takes are kind of fucking yikes. At the same time, I am so tired of qualifying something that everybody who's existed on the internet
just don't Google
already.
What his cat's name was.
Yeah, just don't Google what his cat's name was. And whenever he brings up a shaman, don't ask why they are all like stereotypically Creole and always black and always like doing dark magic. Never think about any of that.
I've been going through the Lord of the Rings audiobooks. Andy Serkis does an amazing job. Of course he does an amazing job. He's Andy fucking Serkis.
I'll need to listen to the audiobooks for it sometime.
I don't do the audiobooks. I just read them. I don't know why, but for me, Lord of the Rings, the audiobooks just is like I can't. And I'm an audiobook nerd. I will listen to an audiobook and then be one of those people that's like, I read that book. Like Andy Weir's what's the book that he did? God damn it. I can think of the plot points. It's like the guy Project Hail Mary. Fucking amazing book. Not The Martian. Yeah, Martian was a good book too, but Project Hail Mary, one of my favorite books. Listen to it on the audiobook. Never read it. I will still tell you I read the book. It's fucking amazing. Great book. But yeah, no, for some reason, Lord of the Rings, I have to read it. I finally finished, I've been reading it for years now, The Orphan's Tales by Catherine Valente. It's 2 books. They're fairly long. Not long enough that I should have taken multiple years to read them, but I have 5 kids. Give me a break. Finally finished them. Really good books. Really good books.
I'm not almost done. I'm in the latter half of the reread of the Dresden Files, so Saki can be caught up because the new book is out and we haven't had a chance to read it yet.
I also like Slaughterhouse 5 is a good one. Douglas Adams as well. Douglas Adams, those ones. I will say do the audiobooks and read them yourself because they're 2 very different experiences, even with the same text on the page, but they're both great.
You know, it's a funny book series to read. Funny, not in like funny haha, but just kind of ironic. The Halo books. So when Saki and I were reading through the Halo books, one, there's a lot of story from that series that is not in the games, that is still canon to the events of the games. If you like the games, please go read the books. Fucking great. But until you get to Ghost of Onyx ain't great. But as we were reading it, a thing that struck me is that the Earth as
Rhino likes Terry Pratchett.
The Earth as a like place is fascist. In the Halo series, Earth is fascist. Mm-hmm. They are a totalitarian government. The reason that like the Spartan program with Master Chief and everything was able to exist at all was because they were a fascist state that abducted children for experiments and did objectively evil things. And the Spartans weren't made so they could fight cool aliens called the Covenant in your video games. They were made to kill armed insurgents who were protesting the government. They're not the good guys. They're just the only guys that are left. is what the Halo series is about.
And Doremo 10 says every version of Hitchhikers is different, often in big ways. So Hitchhikers gave me... I've always been kind of a book snob, where like if there's a book and a movie, and I've read the book, I always, oh, the book is better than the movie. Oh, the book is so much better than the movie. The movie couldn't possibly capture blah, 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 blah. Like that was me. Then I got to the Hitchhiker series, and I read the books, and I watched the BBC TV series, because the movie with Martin Freeman, love Martin Freeman, don't like that movie. But like, turns out Douglas Adams was he was the writer of that movie, so like you can't say that the author's intention was messed up or whatever. But yeah, no. So that's one where, like, because I had read the books and watched the movies, the BBC ones, because those are the good ones. When I found out that they were originally BBC radio plays, and Douglas Adams purposely changed them with every iteration, it just kind of blew my mind and was like, maybe I could enjoy them separately. How does that work? But it does work. He's really good. Douglas Adams, also a good author. But yeah, I think this.
Do we
is
have
the
another
last.
tweet?
No, that's the last one.
Oh, sweet. So we just ended on something we enjoy.
We're done.
We got to end on books.
We got to end on books. Books are good.
Fuck
I
yeah.
like books. Read more
You're
books.
You're the glob gold gob galab. You
I
love
am the glub
books.
go glab galab.
Glab.
The schlubby www. I don't actually know.
I'm gonna make Stream listen to it now. I love
It's
that
so-
song, and I love the
it's
red
so
and blue
good.
versions of it.
It's so good. It's so bad. Have you seen the whole movie that it's from?
I haven't seen the whole movie.
Oh my god, it's so terrible. It's like the whole message of the movie is don't read books, it'll make you not Christian.
Well, yeah, because he's supposed to not be a character that like people aspire to be.
Yeah, but also like whoever animated that thing clearly had a fetish for anthropomorphized cellos. Like her whole thing is, I play my strings and it feels so exquisite. But the queen does not want me to play my strings by myself. And it's so good bad. But like, yeah, no.
Ooh.
And then Dark Falcon is a member for 21 months. Says, remember, fascists love burning books. Yeah, and I like reading them. So.
And I love books.
I love books. He face sits on the books to read them.
Hot.
That made my skin crawl off VR. Yeah, well, watch the actual thing. It is like they're very clearly trying to say masturbation is bad with this cello, but like they also made the cello sexy, and it's something else. It is something else. I don't even remember what it's called. Like Glob Go Glab Glab, I can remember, but the title of the actual movie, no, I can't fucking remember that. Someone's house or something. Now I'm gonna have to look it up so that I can tell you all.
Jesus Christ, Clueless Expert. Thank you for the dono of $100. Also, that's enough for Rhino to get an out of this. Now I'm fucking...
Yeah, well, that's okay. My Go LXLR is dead, so I can't. I no longer have a bank of 40 oohs to go.
Yeah, but you're
All I
just
have
gonna
is-
end up telling Piper to put it in the farm anyway.
I just have that, and
Strawinski and the Mysterious House.
that's the one. Strawinski. Oh my god.
So, Clueless Expert, I appreciate the dono. I appreciate it so much I can tell you exactly what it's being used on. I have had an order for pizza sitting in my phone for me to go pick up. This whole bit, I've been waiting for my ability to click the order button. But since you've sent that dono, I can now send this order and just know that it's paid for.
That's what's on my thing. Yep,
I don't know why I
Strawinski
did
and the
that, but that was
Mysterious
great.
House. That guy on the right that looks like Jabba the Hutt had sex with like the whitest of the California raisins.
Okay.
That's the glob go glab glab.
Yep. We are going to be...
I am the glob go glab glab, the shwibby dubby 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 shwibby flap flab. Have you seen...
I am the yeast of thoughts and minds.
What does that even mean?
He's the yeast of thoughts and minds.
He's the yeast of thoughts and minds. What is that? What does that mean?
I think it's because it makes them expand. Like bread.
Makes them grow?
Yeast makes bread grow.
But it's the bad thing. It's a bad thing.
Right, because he wants you to think that he's good.
Yeast is a type of fungus, so maybe it's a fungal infection.
I don't think that it's that deep.
You don't think that the globgo glabgalab that face at some books to read them in Straczynski in the Mysterious House?
No, I don't think
that
he can
deep?
get that. I don't think he can get that deep. I think he hasn't seen it in years, actually.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's it for tonight. We're gonna end on we were gonna end on books, but now we're ending on the globgo glabgalab, which Cirrus is gonna make you listen to those songs. So I guess I'll raid Cirrus's channel. So yeah, stick around for that. But yeah, I'm done. Bye. Fuck off. Fuck. Hey, fuck. Bye.